So, you may be wondering why uh, I have lined up all but one of my Omnitrixes, and for the simple reason is that I am going to be selling all of these. Now, the idea to sell each and every single one of these is a bit of a hard one, because not only has this franchise been close to my heart for the last few years now, but it's also the fact that, well, I've had these for years on end. In particular, this one is one of the oldest I've had, but I believe it's not the exact same one. Probably, probably got, probably sold it. Probably sold the original and got this one. But yes, I'll be selling each and every single one of these. I'll be doing separate listings for each one, and they won't be ridiculously priced. You'll see some of these retailing on eBay, for example, for 70, 80, 60, 50 plus dollars. I understand people are trying to make a profit from these old toys. Well, relatively old. These two in particular are not really that old. I mean, compared to this one and this one. But still asking for $70 for a toy that realistically doesn't really have much function, such as these, is a bit too much. So these will be way cheaper, around maybe the highest any of them will ever go for would be around 40, maybe 35 at least. And if you're wondering, there is a reason for why you may be noticing, hey, there's one missing. And is this one. Simple reason, this one is not being sold. This one's being kept. And if you noticed, this one in particular is the hardest one to ever find of all of the four I have right now. And that's because this thing is much older than all these, with the exception of this one. This one is from 2006 and this one's from 2008. But if you try to find this one in particular, you'll have a very hard time to find one with a decent price. This one is actually my second one I've ever bought. The first one, which I believe I did a video on a couple of years ago, was about $56 and came from the UK, and it didn't really work that often. This one was about $53 and also came from the UK, which is probably where you're going to find most of these in particular. That's a little tip I'm giving anyone who wants to find this one, is that you are probably going to have to look worldwide on eBay, because you are not going to find that in the US for a decent price. But even outside the US, this one is not going to be a decent price. This one is probably going to be at least $50, which is why none of these will be $50. Because not only are none of these worth $50, who is realistically going to pay $50 for something like this? And I know for a fact this one and this is not going to be paid for $50. And I'm not going to be cruel like that to some people. So, later on today, I'm going to be putting all these up for listing. Again, not this one. That one's being kept safely in my hands. Not saying that none of you are not safe, but you know what I mean, the saying. And the issue comes with determining the actual pricing of these things, because not only do you need to make a profit when you're selling stuff online, but you also have to make it fair enough for people to want to buy the thing. Then again, this one, there's at least probably a high enough demand that people will buy it regardless. But this creator kit will not be any more than at least $25. And that's simply because they are too recent, they're too new, and they're not worth anything more than at least $25. So that's kind of, if you really want to think about it, that's kind of the end of the Ben 10 saga on my channel. Not really, kind of. Simply put, I've gotten too old and there's not enough room for me to have all these. And realistically, if I did want to get them again, I would absolutely get them again. But for right now, is that this one is going to be the sole survivor of this purge. And that's simply because, I mean, look at it. Look at it. You know what this is. You know that this is, quote unquote, valuable. So, and also this is the one that people think of when they think of a Ben 10 toy. It's this one in particular. They had, but on tangent, they had the functions correctly for this one. The pop-up feature, the dial turning, the aliens turning inside, and the lights and sounds. And they kind of messed it up a little bit. Not really. Well, they did with this one. And then this one, I don't know. Tangent over. These will all be going up for sale today. And they will be put on the listings. I will put each of the listings in the description of this video. And when that gets done, it's basically a free-for-all to see who can buy which one faster. And because I know for a fact that 2 of these will be sold out faster than the other 2, the newer 2 will be put on first. So that is kind of the end, quote unquote, end of the Ben 10 little saga on this channel, even though that's not really the case because that thing is still there. Yeah, I thank you guys for watching this, and I will wish you all the luck in the bidding Hunger Games that will come later on this day.